I'm guessing that East-West are going to end in spades. Question is whether there'll be a spade part score or a spade game. Weinstein's two diamonds showed both majors. I'm a little surprised that Levin chose not to compete.
Can you hear me here?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. So Levin and Weinstein went pretty quietly this time.
Yeah, actually, since the two diamond bid, I think, shows 5 spades and 4 hearts, I think that Levin might bid 3 spades just in the 9-card spade fit, but I guess he felt he wasn't strong enough to do so.
Well, the diamond team was fantastic last set. And so they're coming in with a 27 imp lead. And let's see if they can maintain their level of play for another 14 boards, because this one here is already not going to hurt them.
So it looks like a likely 4 or 5 imp pickup for diamond, putting them over the 30 mark.
Is this a vol against not two spade bid in your book, Kit?
Actually, yes, it is. Decent six-card suit. I notice that Hampson and Greco aren't trying to sit on their lead by playing it cautious here. And so they get to the good four-spade contract, which will, it looks like, make 4 or 5, depending on whether they guess the clubs. They had a quick pitch on the heart in case of the diamond lead. Claire, I guess, looking to see if there's some fancy safety play in the spade suit, but I don't think there is in this combination. Do you see one, Andrew?
I do not.
So it looks like just played ace of spades, or not. Probably 3 rounds of hearts just right away, I think. Actually, I guess he might should probably safest play now. The 9 has fallen is to just play another spade, planning on pitch the losing club and forget about the over trick. It's possible that Levin started with a king, queen, 4 of spades and a doubles and heart. That would be guarding against that. Do you think he saw the safety play and rejected it and going for the possible over trick, or just got lazy?
Might be the end of a very long event. I know that Jeff Hampson is one of those I think are really a remarkable bridge player. He's one of these guys who just has it in his blood. he's made so many. I mean, he makes amazing plays. He always knows where every card is. He's really a great player. Probably underrated by many people in the audience, but I think he's every bit as good as Levin and Weinstein as an example.
Well, you can be certain he won't take the club finesse now and risk the contract. Weinstein is perhaps wondering, could his partner have a stiff king of clubs? And if so, I better discard my club, keep the winning heart. So it is an over trick after all. And for all of those of you thinking, my gosh, how can a great player like this not know to hang on to his clubs? I'm sure that's exactly what Weinstein was thinking. The other vulnerabilities Levin might be opening in third seed. At this vulnerability, he's probably not going to.
He'd like to be able to add the adjective lead directing after opening one club, and not being able to do that, it's a little too dangerous to do that outside of a. Well, yeah, Precision player couldn't open one club either unless you were playing some sort of strong diamond. So he makes a normal pass, and South has a normal strong no trump, and North has a normal pass, and I think Declare is going to have. Declare is probably going to come to at least 7 tricks on this board.
So after a few more boards, we're going to definitely getting to the point where not only is this a bridge game, but it's also a race against time for Levin and Weinstein. And I'm wondering at what point we might see a little bit of swinging.
Not even close yet. I mean, they'd have to be having a clearly bad set at their table to do any swinging. It would have to be clearly bad, not just average, because you never know what's going to be happening at the other table, as we have seen time and again.
The Hartley's kind of interesting because it gives Declare an entry to the dummy that he doesn't otherwise have, to allow him to make a diamond play. It may also convince him that the Heart Queen is offside if East does not play to this trick. He thinks 3 hearts and 1 trick in each of the other suits off the top. He just needs to establish 1 trick. And how he goes about doing that could be fascinating. He'll fall into at least 7 tricks because the Heart Queen is coming down cover or not here. But,
well, if it's covered, Hampson will just go after. If it's covered, Hampson will just go after diamonds and make a lot. I guess he doesn't have the 4th round of diamonds. Levin, noting his partner's high spot lead and realizing that Hampson has entry considerations, makes a nice play by not covering.
I think to, would you declare maybe play a diamond, a low diamond towards his hand here in this position? And spades may offer better chances of developing a trick than diamonds, given that you don't think that you have any late entry to the board, and you certainly don't want to play a diamond to the queen and have it lose, and then play another diamond and have to guess to finesse. But he's played a heart.
Anyway, no, he's just going to play his hearts and take a heart finesse, which he thinks is onside. That's his seventh trick. He's not going to fool out with anything else. Weinstein cleverly not holding up on the jack of diamonds.
This is the recommended way to play the suit. If the heart finesse is onside now, it'll still be onside later. So
yeah, but the best play actually might have been to play a low heart from dummy at trick one to make sure you have a dummy entry. But he didn't do that. I guess that doesn't make sure of a dummy entry either, come to think of it.
Is this hand out of range for North to open one no trump? A strong club for them?
I don't think anything's out of range from what I've seen. Yes, it is, actually. They're 14 to 16.
So maybe East makes a noise to show his majors here? Trying to create a little bit of action?
I don't think that's a good philosophy with 4-4 in the majors. I think you're better off passing and letting the opponents find a major suit fit or not know where their cards are. I mean, we're talking about a strong club, remember?
The one club opening bid is forcing, but not on you. The West, of course, is going to try to throw a little bit of a... is going to bid his diamond suit, take away a level of bidding for North-South.
And get an opening lead, which might be, shall we say, important.
It does appear that if North-South wind up in no trump, that a diamond lead will be necessary.
Hampson's going to reopen with Hampson was going to reopen with a double, except Levin took that away from him. Well, he still could, actually. And he probably will. He has a maximum.
So North
so they're going to play here. It's going to be an ugly 4-3 heart fit, it looks like. And this is why Levin doesn't show the majors initially.
This looks to be going down at least one, maybe several trucks.
I'm betting on down 2, personally. I think he's going to lose a couple of spades, diamond, and three hearts. And maybe control. And then he could go down a ton. Let's say he plays a heart to the queen and a heart to the 10 and jack, which seems normal, and 11 exits with something. It's so unreasonable to play a third round of hearts and lose everything.
How are you projecting the play to go, Cat?
Say it goes a heart, ace of diamonds and a diamond, or a spade shift and then a diamond. Now a heart to the queen and a heart to the 10 and jack. 11 gets out with a club, say, and declare plays the third round of hearts, and the defense claims, or as close to claiming as possible.
A declarer at that position may have a choice of whether to play safely for down a couple, or to try. What has he lost at that point? He's lost a diamond and 1 heart.
Well, he knows he's losing 2 spades now. There's no way Weinstein's going to be leading the 9 of spades from any holding with an honor with the 10 and dummy. That makes no sense at all. So he knows 100% certainty the king, queen of spades are both sides.
Well, I'm concerned the 9 of spades is a singleton.
Well, it might be a singleton, but it's not. But it's not away from an honor.
In positions that you think you might make or not be hurt too badly, you're putting hearts as 3-3 to begin with. So if you think that West has 6 diamonds and 3 hearts, then he has 4 cards in the other 2 suits. It's not so unreasonable to think he's 1-3, 6-3. Though it doesn't cost you anything to cover the 9 with by ducking the 9, since if it is a singleton and they play a spade back, he's just roughing what's a spade loser anyways.
Oh no, he certainly has no reason to win the trick that I can see. But Levin's not going to return a spade anyway. Whatever his hand is, he's going to return a diamond, and then we're going to be where we are. And in my mind, the big question will be, let's suppose the hand was played the way I project. On the third round of hearts, will Weinstein be sharp enough to hold all of his diamonds? Here we are now. If Levin quietly exits with a club, let's see what happens.
I wonder if it might have been a clever play to actually just duck the 10 of hearts, even though you're giving up a trump in doing so. Declarer will surely think that the hearts are 3-3 now. He knows the ace is on his right and his jack is on his left. He'll just blithely play another heart for sure, and now you're definitely you've got him.
Wow, that would be cute. Except the problem is he'd now think the hearts were 4-2, which means if he crossed a dummy and played a heart, he'd just get tapped. So that couldn't really work for him. So his hearts are too strong is the problem. Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, Declare did not win the club trick and dummy. So I guess Declare is going to play safe after all. Or maybe Declare hasn't made up his mind yet.
East is taking 3 tricks, 100 points east-west. That combined with, looks like it's going to be north-south making one no trump in the other room. So Nicholls on the board in the last stanza. The call over the strong club showing the majors was in fact made in the other room with the results that you feared, Kit. It allowed North-South to more effectively, it kind of blew East-West out of their own fit and allowed them to make one no trump.
Yeah, I've seen that sort of thing happen often enough that I know that showing 4-4 in the majors just isn't a paying proposition.
You've probably seen it against you plenty, being a precision player.
Right.
So Hampson had kind of an awkward decision here. He, after the one heart bid, he was vulnerable against knot. He didn't really like overcalling 2 diamonds. Not with, he thought he might miss a spade fit. But I don't know if I would have found this double. What about you guys?
Well, for me, it's automatic because I do not play that double followed by 2 diamonds shows any extras at all. So it's a no-brainer for me.
And I'm sure Hampson does that as well. I mean, you have to make a decision. Either you're going to play equal level conversion, where the 2 diamond bid doesn't show extra after you make a double, or you need to put a bid in your system to handle these skewed hands. You can use 2 hearts over 1 heart to show diamonds and spades with potentially 4-card spade suit, or you could use 1 no trump to show 4 spades and a longer minor. There are options, but the hand needs to be showable.
Note that Greco has no trouble passing. He knows what his partner's hand figures to be.
actually has play for 11 tricks on this.
Yeah, and he can probably afford to take the spade finesse. I mean, 2 diamonds isn't going to go down, even if bad things start to happen.
When he takes 11 tricks, he can explain to his partner that when he makes a takeout double and then freely bids again, it obviously shows a very strong hand like this, and that his partner should have bid game.
At the other table, by the way, the same takeout double was made, the same one no trump bid was made, but there South chose to pass it. So it's going to be a battle of the over tricks, and no trump's probably going to come out a little better.
150 each way, quite possibly. They have 4 clubs to cash if they do that.
No, they're going to lead a heart, I think. The declare takes 5 diamonds, 4 hearts. I'm sorry, 5 diamonds, 4 spades, and a heart for 180, beating out your measly 150.
So this is a matter of diagnosing for North-South that they have 2 club losers, so that they shouldn't be in slam, or that they're off the clubs, so they shouldn't be in 3-no trump. They can do all right in either the 4-3 spade fit or in the 6-2 diamond fit at the game level, and they can do fine at the 6th level if they can avoid the club lead.
Yeah, and if they get to 3-no trump, might matter who declares it. A little easier for West to lead a club than for East to lead a club.
Jack 10, 9, 8, 5th is a very attractive lead against 3-no trump.
I don't really think we'll be able to diagnose the club problem. I think it's just a question of if Hampson moves to slam and then stops at 5 diamonds, Goodbridge will have been rewarded in a funny way.
There's some variance in the Nickell versus the Greco-Hampson precision auctions. At the other table, North responded 2 diamonds to the precision club, which also shows a balanced hand in 8 to 11 range.
Which they're bidding right now, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, it looks like North-South have gotten to 3-0 from the wrong side. If South passes this, they are in danger of going minus. Although
South hasn't passed
at
yet.
the other table.
South hasn't passed yet, though. That's the difference.
No, he's not. He actually has quite a bit of extra values. He's probably more worried about slam than going down 3-0 trump.
Right, but at the other table, it was South who did 3-0 trump, so it looks like North will pass and get the club lead.
Indeed, they are in 3-0 from South at the other table. And the longer Hampson thinks, the more likely they are to win a swing.
But from Hampson's point of view, if he caught his partner with the king of spades, the king of hearts, and the king of clubs, which would be, entirely within range, then slam could be excellent.
And the club was indeed led at the other table, so it's a great result for Diamond there.
But Hampson has two problems. He has the first problem is whether or not to pass, and the second problem is if he chooses to bid, how to proceed. If he chooses to proceed with 4-0 trump, he may just run a small swing for the Nickell team.
Well, if you're going above 3-0 trump, I think you play in diamonds, and chances of taking exactly 10 tricks in no trump and in diamonds, that's a pretty thin target to worry about.
So it looks like the board is going to be pushed.
It's sort of funny that by being conservative, Hampson wound up getting a minus score, whereas had he been aggressive, he might have gotten a plus score. Very strange result.
So vulnerable in first seat, kind of a mediocre suit, but there are 6 of them, and 6-3-3-1 is good aggressive shape. I think most players open that hand with a weak 2 nowadays.
I don't think so. I would have been very surprised if Weinstein did. I mean, I think it's borderline, and if I think it's borderline, believe me, most players aren't going to do it.
And Weinstein has, in fact, passed.
Now, Levin might shove in a 3-club bid over against the strong club, or only 2 clubs, or whatever he feels like. Huh, he feels like nothing. I didn't expect that.
I think you'd rather play the north-south cards in 3-0 trump if you can than in 4 hearts, where you might suffer a spade ruff to go down. In either case, you're going to need to develop an additional trick in the majors before they get the clubs going. Well, in no trump before they get the clubs going, and in hearts, you just need to not lose 2 trump tricks. So both of them kind of are going to depend on usually the king of hearts being on your right. But
certainly you'd rather be in 3-0. certainly it 3-note trump's a better contract, but diagnosing all that isn't exactly easy. Notice Greco upgraded his hand as too strong for a one-club opening bid. I don't know if they'll make that same upgrade at the other table.
$16 highs. It's control rich. Has a good 5-card suit. Both the jacks are supported by a higher honor. It seems like a pretty reasonable upgrade to me.
Well, it's not exactly control rich. I see all of one ace. That seems to be a little below average in the ace department for a 16 count, wouldn't you say?
It's light in terms of 2-1 points, but it. I mean, you have a trick control in all 4 suits.
Yeah, I mean, I could go either way on the hand. I think it's really borderline. I know a lot of players play this style of this one heart bid showing any 8 to 11 or something. I haven't really played that much. I just played natural responding, and it seems so important for a responder to bid a suit if he hasn't. That's what I've found.
I like that if you're going to play these methods, the big club methods, that you either want to be getting onto a natural track, or you want to be getting onto a relay track, and to figure out adeptly which one of those 2 things you want to be doing. Relays are a big memory burden, but can produce a lot of wins played well. I don't. To what extent do you use relays when in your strong club methods?
We don't use relays exactly. We use asking bids after all our positive responses. It's not mandatory, but they're available depending on the hand type. So I don't know if you want to call those relays or not. I mean, we don't relay out shape or anything, but we just basically can ask about things that we feel we need to know. And when the responder shows a balanced hand, then we can relay and find out shape. Greco can see that 3-note trump might be better, considering his holdings in the black suits, but he's a little worried that his diamond tricks might be a bit too slow if his partner doesn't have the ace of diamonds.
He might be thinking a spade over and a club through his king would be bad for his side. Although that would be bad for his side in either hearts or in no trump. I think he has to just place his partner with some help in one or both black suits for his one heart, which was artificial anyways. I guess 2 hearts have now shown hearts. It seems normal enough to raise to 3 hearts, and if a partner is interested in 3-note trump, he can wiggle with 3 spades to let you bid it. 3 spades seems can't be natural. They've already bid spades, right? So
the point is, the partner's not going to be thinking in those terms. I mean, he's going to think 3 spades is a slam move. Well, nice decision. Which was matched at the other table, by the way.
The other table did it in a non-competitive auction, and here in competition, I'm not sure which was the more difficult feat, but both tables are in 3-0 trump, which is what we think is the best spot. This is not the set of boards you wanted to see if you were stuck 30 imps or so coming into it.
I wouldn't mind seeing this board. I mean, this could be a potential game swing. It just happens not to be, but it could easily be.
Board 51 as well could have been a potential game swing, but they seem to be coming back in as flat boards and 1-imp swings all the time.
Well, if your opponents do the right thing, you aren't going to get those game swings.
If they do the right thing on every hand, Nicholls just has no hope. The clock is starting to tick, and you're going to need to start creating some imps. Levin and Weinstein can't be happy with their set so far, well, with the exception of beating 3-0 trump.
Well, they also aren't unhappy with it. It's not like they're looking at a couple of missed slam swings.
Yeah, actually, looking back at their card, it's they have plus positions. They defended this ridiculous 3-heart contract on board 49 and went plus when their teammates could easily be plus at the other table. Their North-South missed a very pushy game on board 50, but it would make, and then their opponents got to the wrong game on 51, which went down. In a great day, they could have picked up like 25 imps on those 3 boards to be just about tied in the match.
Right. Things just aren't that desperate. It's the other table where the pickups haven't come through. That's the problem. So is there anything more to this hand other than playing the ace of hearts and playing a heart and going right? And on this hand, he can't go wrong.
Well, you do have a guess, right? I mean, you could, but restricted choice tells you to play the 8. Well, there's no guess because they're both on side.
Yeah, I said on this hand he can't. Yeah, I said assuming he starts that way, he can't go wrong. But is there any reason for him to do something funny and find a way to go down?
He's going to have to win the King of Clubs to reserve a late entry to the Queen of Hearts. And he can take 5 rounds of diamonds if he wants to, pitching a couple of spades, or pitching a spade and a heart. And I don't think the defense can cause him any grief as long as Declare plays carefully. I think he will take 5 rounds of diamonds first just to make them discard on general principles.
I guess he can. They don't know he has heart support. Keep that in mind. He doesn't really need to keep the late entry to dummy, by the way, because he doesn't need long hearts. He just needs a heart trick.
East may be feeling a bit of pressure here on the next 3 rounds of diamonds.
And in fact, at the other table, Bathurst did discard a couple of hearts just to get the thing over, just to make it really easy. The only thing would be if Levin can somehow convince Declarer that he has Jack Doubleton or 10 Doubleton of hearts, and Declarer might lead a heart to the 8 and go for the intra finesse, but that would be an awfully big position. Of course, if Levin pitches a couple of clubs, Declarer, what will Declarer think? Declarer will probably assume he has 6 clubs and 2 spades. He'll probably think he has 3 hearts anyway, so he won't go wrong then. In other words, Declarer will think the spades are 5 too, so he'll place Levin with 2 spades and 2 diamonds, but he's not going to place Levin with 2 hearts, I don't think.
I had mistakenly thought this would be the faster of the tables. East is attempting this on the next coup, it may be working more on the ViewGraph commentators than on Greco.
Well, he's probably coming to the conclusion that he can't beat the hand if declare has the ace of hearts. So he has to play declare for the ace of spades, despite the bidding, and his partner for this stiff ace of hearts, and maybe ace double. I think that's going to be the conclusion he comes to. So for that reason, I could see him pinching another heart. And then if declare is aware of what's going on, declare could lead a heart without cashing the ace and score the entire heart suit. So it turns out declare did drop one over trick by pitching a heart from dummy since the spades are blocked.
One imp to Nickell.
Yeah, these one imps at a time is not quite the necessary pace.
Well, on the set, after almost half the set played, Nicholls up by a field goal. It's not gonna. That pace is not gonna do much. And then the Diamond team has a fine result coming in from the other room on this board. East-West were allowed to play in just 2 hearts, or managed to stop in 2 hearts, and
Well, they can make 3 hearts comfortably, I think.
it appears they made 5, which seems like a lot. The defense started with 2 rounds of diamonds, after which both of declared spades disappeared. One on dummies, king of diamonds, and one on the long club. So finally was able to rough in with his queen of hearts. The 4-3-3 hand has to wait a long time to score any roughs.
So Weinstein is planning on doubling and then bidding hearts to show better than a 2-heart overcall, I guess.
In that position, East is not embarrassed about his hand, but he doesn't really have a whole lot to spare. It's a question of whether or not to raise here.
I think he's going to eke out a raise, personally. I know I would. And if he does, it may not be that obvious for the defense to cash their spade tricks. And they better cash them right away, because one will go on the club.
Is it clear for West to continue on to 4 if East raises?
I don't know if it's clear, but I said if he continues on to 4, the defense better get it right. And what would you lead from Greco's hand in this auction? Well, Spade sure doesn't seem attractive. I'd probably lead a club or the ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds, then I'd have to work out what to shift to.
I would not lead the ace of diamonds. It's just dry ace lead just blows so many tricks so often, the tempo, and I would lead a trump or a club before the ace of diamonds. A club seems sort of normal to me.
Well, if he leads a club, the game might make. Yeah, a game will make, because the clearer will lead the diamonds. We'll play him for ace double and the diamonds, basically.
I'm not going to play my partner for short spades if after they pass one spade. So the ace of spades. The ace of spades in a spade draft is the easiest route to beat 4 hearts. You think that leaves the least from partner? Just a stiff spade and then breaking ace of spades spade draft, diamond to the ace spade draft, and you're on to the next board. So the ace of spades has something to recommend it.
Well, we'll see if Weinstein bids 4, first of all, and then we'll see what Greco leads. But this is not necessarily a good board for diamond, even though it might have looked that way.
East did in fact eke out the raise to 3 hearts, and West is considering and has passed.
Against 3 hearts, I imagine he will lead passively. And so he did. So it looks like it's probably going to be a 1 imp to Bathurst, if things, or diamond if things go as expected.
Keep in mind, if the spade honors were not split, if they were just both in the hand that opened one spade, the defense would be trivial to take at least 4 tricks, because their ace of diamonds will never go away, and they'll cash the ace king of spades and have at least 1 heart trick depending on the break.
Oh no, they judged well by stopping. Pretty hard to argue with that. Just that they might have made it if they had did it. I would expect that Weinstein will play diamonds by leading a diamond to the king, but we shall see. Greco's already shown up with 3 clubs, at least 5 spades, quite possibly 6, since Hampson didn't raise, and he figures to have the ace of diamonds, so that certainly looks to be the percentage play in diamonds. Now he's forced to make the winning play, pretty much. surprised he's thinking. This doesn't really seem to be a close decision. Even if the diamond's at 3-3, we know that North has the ace. That means South's a 3-2 favorite to have the jack. Just looking at the other spot cards. And if North has 6 spades, then leading a diamond up to the king is a lock.
I'm confused by
Guess
the one.
he got it wrong. What did he do? He let the queen of diamonds or something? That seems silly. Oh well.
So tick-tock, 7 boards left. This could be an exciting hand.
If you wind up overbidding to 6 hearts, you might make it. Greco and Hampson have had a history thus far in this match of bidding to some very aggressive slams and taking quite a lot of tricks. South hand has just 3 losers if there's any sort of fit, so it doesn't take a whole lot.
Did West really overcall a spade?
Redirecting.
I can't believe that. Well, maybe he did. Getting a little desperate to make that bid.
I don't think you're likely to make 6 hearts if you're there having received a 1 spade overcall. You're probably not going to guess the spades right. Only East raises. Now you kind of know something. You'll know something's fishy when spades are bid and raised. And if they lead the suit, then they will solve things for you.
Well, this actually may propel them there because Hampson now knows his partner's short in spades.
Well, Hampson may prefer to use the double convention.
No, they're not going any higher. I mean, Hampson can just see a slam opposite any kind of heart support now. I think this funny 1 spade bid is going to get them to slam. I mean, Greco has to bid 4 hearts. What else can he do? And this will be the heart support that Hampson expects. And now it'll be confirmed. I could see them getting the slam now. What a weird scenario.
It's just amazing 1 spade overcall. Whatever it means, it must have something to do with spades because he's raised red against white over the big club. That's a big, big, big bid.
Oh, no, it's a natural call. It's just, I mean, it's just weird. That's all. I don't think it's that dangerous as such, unless you happen to run into somebody's spade suit. But it's just a strange bid.
The West hand is with balanced values. Has no reason to suspect that North-South have a game just because of the strong club. The strong club, it doesn't have to catch more than a. We've seen it already in this match that the big club opening often catches a very modest hand opposite, and it's a part score battle. And
yeah, but maybe you can win the. But hey, the spade suits win part score battles. I'm not saying it's a good bid. I'm just saying it's an interesting bid. It's not like the most hopeless thing I've ever seen in my life, particularly down in a match. Well, there's the expected 4 heart bid. Now let's see what Hampson's going to do.
Hampson must be thinking about 7 now. Heart support, partner of 2 diamonds. So he knows that for all he knows, he's got a source of tricks in diamonds.
And he knows the roughing, finesse, and spades is on. That's a lock.
And partner could easily have a third trump. He's got to be thinking 7.
Wow! So much for that.
Or to put it another way, he's not thinking about 7.
Well, he's never thinking about 7 if Greco bids only 4 hearts. If Greco has what's needed for 7, Greco would bid more than 4 hearts. Greco does have a 3 spade bid available.
Maybe he suspected something was fishy.
No, he just suspected that Greco has a dead minimum 2 diamond bid, since Greco only bid 4 hearts. Just bridge. Hampson's wondering if there are 2 kings and spades in the decks at this point.
Yes. Another hand that might have been a swing to Levin Weinstein, but won't be because they are playing 4 hearts, making 5 at the other table.
Oh, 4 hearts making... You're talking about this hand? The 4 hearts making 5 is a normal result, really.
Well, as it turns out, 100% of the tables that have ever played this hand wound up in 4 hearts making 5.
It's got to be truth. Can't understand why Hampson doesn't just claim. I mean, he really thinks the spades are 5-2.
Maybe he just wants to play a squeeze in 3 suits.
Oh, I'm just joking. I mean, he knows the spades are 5-2.
But I mean, even so, he can just claim on the squeeze.
No, that's not true. I mean, if Levin guards the diamonds, there's no squeeze, no communication in the other suits.
Well, he can't claim that he knows he's making on a squeeze, but he can claim that I'm going to try to squeeze you.
Okay, that I agree with.
Greco made a funny remark there.
Here we have what looks like a pretty good result for Nickell at the other table.
So if they want to make the end of this match exciting, they need to win a big swing on one of these boards.
Oh, they have the potential here. Extra blasted out 4 spades in the north hand, and the east hand thought it was better to declare, understandably, but wrongly so. Greco taking a rather quieter approach.
The quieter approach appeals to me personally. Spades outranks everything else, so you can always bid 4 spades later if you want. And you have enough stuff that you're not all that concerned that the opponents are going to be bidding at the 5 level. So I don't feel like there's ought to be a rush to get to 4 spades. Maybe you belong in 3 now.
I'm not inclined to agree. I mean, if I have a hand where I almost know I'm going to bid 4 spades if the opponent's bid 4 hearts, pretty much however it goes, then I'm sort of inclined to just bid it.
But there's no reason to think the opponents are going to compete to 4 hearts. There's nothing really all that remarkable about it, and there's no reason to believe that you're going to be taking very many tricks in 4 spades.
And there's also no reason to believe that the opponents are going to do the right thing if you bid 4 spades. I mean, if I bid 4 spades and it goes double, it's not like I'm conceding. I potentially have a hand with only 4 losers. It's interesting to see what Levin's going to do here. If it goes a heart pass and Weinstein bids a spade, that's going to slow things up a lot.
Four hearts seems sort of normal to me.
Yeah, now you've bid 4 spades, and the opponents. Now Levin doesn't have to bid his hearts at the 5 level because he's already shown his hand, and his partner can make an intelligent decision.
It is true that if I am told that my left-hand opponent has a 7-card heart suit, I will be more inclined to want to bid 4 spades. But with 18 high card points in a semi-balanced hand with a 6-card suit, for me, I like the double. But this hand double was the path to defeat, and 4 spades was the path to victory. So who might argue with success?
Well, it's not success yet. Levin hasn't passed. I think he should, but we'll see.
I wonder what their double means here.
I imagine it means he doesn't think they're going to make it, but maybe not.
Eleven and Weinstein are one of the more straightforward pairs out there at this level. Uh, they don't invert every single meaning, but maybe this double is artificial since he did double it.
You know, it shows a good hand. I don't know that it shows a spade void, and I have no idea what Weinstein's going to do. Okay. Well done. And they're getting, well, it's at least down one, that's for sure. I guess that's all it's going to be is down one. The player can just lead diamonds and brute force get a diamond rough and dummy.
That'll still be 9 imps.
Yeah, 9 imps they can certainly use. What's it, 26 going into this? So that would be make it 17. Huh? Could still be a ball game.
Well, Claire's not out of the woods yet. He has to be concerned the defense can negotiate a club rough if he just plays on diamonds. So may play if he plays one round of trumps first, he'll get the bad news. But now if he plays on diamonds, West can draw dummies trumps before he can get a diamond rough.
Well, with almost no entries to dummy, he can't expect to pick up the diamonds anyway. So I think he should just blast them out. Maybe not. Oh, you were right. There's that one fatal round of trump, or potentially fatal.
He starts diamonds with the queen. He, of course, has to duck since he lacks any trumps to play.
No, he's okay, actually, now. He just goes after clubs. Nothing bad can happen, as long as Weinstein has at least 3 clubs.
The defense needs to prevent him from having a second entry to dummy to play diamonds up twice. So
No, the club's
sure
good.
That,
Dummy's club's going to be
West
good.
will have a trump.
Dummy's club is going to be... Oh, I'm sorry, the trump's a 4-0. Doesn't cash, does it? Oh, you're right. So it is 500.
But if he can get the dummy with the 10 of clubs, then he can lead diamonds up twice. So the defense does have to take some care on the club suit.
Well, Weinstein could probably figure the whole hand out now. He can certainly assume that the hearts are what they are. He knows what the spades are. He's got the count in the club suit from partner. He knows his partner has enough to bid 4 hearts and then double, so how can his partner not have both kings? Yeah, he should know the whole hand.
Looks like Weinstein may be considering ducking this trick, which is fine defense.
Right. I think he will duck it. It's interesting, though, if Declare led the queen of clubs, which I think is the better play, now Weinstein can't really risk ducking it because Levin might have king-jack even.
Sometimes the honest card is more deceptive than the sneaky card. Or harder to defend against.
However, he hasn't worked it out. Now Levin's going to have an impossible problem.
Levin has nothing approaching a count on the hand, so I don't see that it would be possible for him to duck the queen of clubs.
Oh, I totally agree. I think Weinstein. I mean, why couldn't Declare, have a doubleton club, and who knows how many spades? I mean, he's just not going to duck that trick. Yeah, Weinstein should have worked that out. Surprised Greco's having such a problem on this play. It seems so clear at this point to win his hand and play this queen of clubs, don't you think?
In fact, to the point that that it's almost deceptive for him to be thinking so long about it. But I'm guessing everyone's a bit tired at this point. It's been a long week for everyone.
Well, obviously he's considering winning the jack of spades and leading a diamond, but that doesn't really make much sense, does it?
And the defense, I don't know. Weinstein obviously doesn't have a high spade honor anyway, so it's not actually deceptive. I was mistaken.
Oh no, there's nothing tricky about it. It's just I don't see. It doesn't seem to me like he has much of a decision, but maybe he's finding something.
For all Greco knows, West has at least 4 clubs. Is going to have to follow to the 10 and 9 of clubs. It just seems crystal clear to win the spade and knock out the king of clubs for your for what you hope is your ninth trick.
Yeah, I guess it's possible the diamonds could be 4-4 and the clubs 4-2 that way. Well, I think at the table Greco knows where the king of clubs is, don't you? I mean, just because Weinstein took so long to win the ace.
Of course. Yeah, East has to have the king of clubs, and one of the diamond honors are almost certainly split as well. And East needs something. Declare knows East needs something for his double as well.
And if East has the doubleton club, he wouldn't have played small on the jack of clubs. No way. So declarers should know the clubs are 3-3, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. But what's interesting is the longer he thinks about this, the more chance Bobby has of working out what declarer was thinking about, and Bobby might find the duck of the queen of clubs just on that action alone. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough duck of the king of clubs. But if anyone is up to it, Levin has great table presence. So he
This
might.
doesn't say table presence. I mean, if declare a queen jack doubleton of clubs, this trick would be played in 2 seconds. That's all there is to it. Actually, even if declares queen jack doubleton of clubs ducking the king is right, because the trick probably comes back with interest. Huh, hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, so it's Bobby's correct play to, Levin's correct play to duck the king of clubs, the queen of clubs regardless. Even if it's a doubleton, it's the winning play. Yeah, that's quite obvious now that I look at it.
Unless you have cashing diamonds. I mean, you know your partner has the ace of diamonds, so...
Well, then nothing's running away.
Well, the club could be running away. Maybe partner has the ace queen of diamonds.
So then he'll get them all. Remember, once he wins the king of clubs, dummy's clubs are all good and partner can't rough them. The only way ducking can be wrong is if your side has the ace king of diamonds and declares diamonds are solid otherwise. Yeah, which I guess is possible, but not after Greco takes this long on the spade play. I mean, if Greco had queen jack double in the clubs to make it to take 10 years on this play would just be, I don't even want to think about it.
Greco is a very deliberate player, but this particular play seems like one that is taking longer than is necessary.
Right, but the point is, if he had queen jack doubleton of clubs, I mean, that would just be the most absurd coffee house in the world. I mean, I sort of wonder if maybe this. Can we ask the UGraph operator if he's still thinking?
Well, I just did.
Maybe.
He is feeling a little end played right now.
I hadn't looked at this position. Okay, so now if he plays the king of clubs, okay, that doesn't work. So East has to play the Queen of Hearts. Now what happens then?
Well, then that's just West can pitch his club as declare rough.
Yeah, but then East gets stuffed in later anyway. Then declare just draws trumps and plays the club. Well, maybe Greco did see something that we didn't see.
What if East exits a low heart without setting up the jack?
Well, he plays the jack from dummy.
And West roughs it.
Okay, I guess that'll do it, but at least he's giving Levin a problem. Well, maybe Greco made a great play. I said maybe Greco made a great play. I didn't think about this one at all.
Weinstein might have done better to put up the ace of diamonds and put a spade back.
And that is a good point. But does he know his partner has the King of Diamonds? He should, I guess. So I think you're right. I think Levin has to play a low heart at this point. What an unintuitive play. He played the queen, and that's not going to work. Now Greco just draws trumps and blasts away at the clubs. And Levin is end played.
So a nice recovery by Greco.
Oh, I'm impressed. I didn't see that at all, and I'm looking at all four hands. And as we said, Levin could have found it, or Weinstein could have made it easier, but, part of the game is to give the defense problems. So, even after all that, as we know, it's still a 9-imp loss.
Well, with 5 boards to go, the margin is now under 20 imps. That's certainly not out of the realm of possibility to see that much swing in that number of boards. If you remember this this spring's Vanderbilt finals, the final 7 or 8 boards were just an amazing torrent of swings and imps and excitement.
So Greco's open, another classic one-note trump.
Let's put up the 4th one of this match on a singleton.
And now they're going to struggle in a 4-3 heart fit instead of the comfortable 3-club contract played at the other table. But I imagine 2 hearts is going to do pretty well with absolutely everything splitting perfectly. So, how is he supposed to play this hand? Weinstein, looking at that ace-queen doubleton of clubs in front of dummies clubs, isn't too happy, but maybe he's not that worried about it. Maybe Declare has a stiff club. Weinstein's sort of in the blind here. He has no idea where any of the high cards are. His partner could have the king of spades, but without the jack, his partner wouldn't cover. And his partner could even have the ace of hearts and duck the first round of hearts. So he is really defending this in the blind. Well, he finally does the natural thing. Now Declares going to make that club play, of course.
Sorry, I was fielding some comments that my microphone levels were particularly low again, and I was trying to figure out if I could debug that somehow.
No, we can hear you fine now. Easy game.
So no swing on this board, and we are down to 4 boards left. Bathurst and Moss went down one in the 5-2 heart fit on this board in the other room. And it does appear that East-West have substantial values and some play for game.
No, I wouldn't bet on 3-no trump sight unseen, that's for sure. I'm sorry, I wouldn't bet against it.
Three-no does seem like the likely landing place. I would expect a spade past 2 hearts. And depending on their style, East will either rebid 2 spades or 2-no trump or 3 clubs. And 3-no trump will eventually be reached.
Well, spade, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 diamonds, 3-no trump looks certainly feasible.
Now South is introduced a wrinkle here
with
a double.
Well, he could be wrinkled if East-West decide to go after him. They don't have an 8-card fit.
I think East-West will go after him here.
I think so too.
West's got hearts and diamonds. East has clubs. They don't have enough that they know they're making their game. I settle for my 500, maybe more.
I think you're right. This is quite a punishment for a normal takeout double. Of course, the takeout double was made in the other room also, but they didn't go after him. Well, after this start, there's no way they're not going to play something doubled, and it's probably going to be two clubs doubled.
I still make bid two diamonds to show the reds here. He knows
I don't.
The 4-3 fit. Well, he's
yeah, except
equivalent.
Except if his partner were 4-4 in the minors, his partner wouldn't have bid two clubs. His partner would have redoubled.
So maybe South just knows there is no fit at this point.
Maybe. But why couldn't they be a 4-4 fit? Well, they're wearing it, that's for sure.
Well, they no longer have to worry about making game. They just have to worry about making as many tricks as they can on defense. And looks like they can start by drawing 4 rounds of trumps if they want to.
Well, 3 rounds anyway. Then I guess West will perhaps dump him back in the dummy. I don't know.
West could also win the second round of diamonds and shift to a club to eventually get a club ruff. If he catches his ace of diamonds, that opportunity goes away.
You're right, and I think that might well be the best defense. Weinstein can certainly guess the distribution pretty well at this point, that's for sure. But he doesn't know where the high cards are. Except that his partner has most of them. That's the good news. Anyway, whatever happens, this is going to be a big pickup for Nickell, that's for sure, and probably enough to send this match into single digits. I think he's going to take the dump him back in the dummy, and let's see which suit Declare wants to attack approach.
The Declare has 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 spade. With both the clubs outside, is going to take at least 1 club trick for 4. So the battle is over Declare's 5th trick.
It would seem that way, and I think I'm going to bet on... I'm not sure who to bet on for that trick.
Well, for the defenders to stop him from taking the club trick, they have to threaten him with the threat to tap him out with something. They have to either threaten to establish the spades or the hearts.
Well, they can certainly establish the spade easily enough. But the point is, let's suppose Weinstein leads a diamond now. What does Declare do? I mean, Declare has to play something, and anything he plays is catastrophic for him.
It's pretty bad.
Weinstein must know that Levin has the ace of clubs, because there's no way Levin would pitch a club if he didn't have the ace in this position. Weinstein doesn't know about the ace of hearts and doesn't know about the spade honors. It seems to me a diamond has to be right.
Well, people are asking me about this takeout double that Hampson made. What do you think about it, Kit?
I think it's routine, even after seeing the result.
If Declare wins the queen of diamonds and plays the ace of spades, West has a choice whether to unblock or not. If he does not unblock, he's in with the king of spades next. Of course, then East can win the ace of clubs and run the spades, and Declare will go down maybe more than more than at least 800 then. Maybe Declare wins and ducks a heart in both hands. Heart shift is not going to hurt Declare. Well, that was
it looks
his
like
fifth correct.
Yeah, it looks like 500 now. And what's that going to be, 11 imps?
Sorry, I lost connection for a second. Anything exciting here?
I don't have the table in front of me, but West shifted to a heart, which appears to have surrendered a fifth trick to Declare. As long as he crosses the ace of hearts and leaves a club up, I think he'll escape for down 500, which is 600 and 100, and I think that's 12, but I don't have the imp table in front of me.
Yeah, 600 is 12. So he just made a bad play, basically. I think. Don't anybody go away.
Well, it looks like board 58 is going to be exciting as well, so I don't know how we manage it, but the ends of these matches can be real nail biters.
In fact, I'll go further. Nickell could be ahead after the next board.
And we're in the perfect position, I think, here with just being a little bit behind the other table, so we can get their results in first.
Can you guys hear me? I'm having a little connection problems.
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you.
So Greco is actually still not played a card here on board 57, and there must be more to this position that we ought to be considering. It's he doesn't know that the hearts are 5-2, so he might be afraid that crossing the ace of hearts is not going to be the path to victory. I'm not entirely sure what he's considering. And East has pitched Spade, and how that figures into things. So West no longer has an entry to his hearts now that Declare's played a low spade.
Can you guys hear me at all?
I can. Can you hear us?
Yes, Kit.
We're having some issues with Kit's headset. We can hear him, but he can't hear us, which may make for some less interesting crosstalk. In the open room on board 58, East-West had a auction starting with a precision 1 diamond that ended in 6-no trump East-West, and they took 10 tricks in that contract. So there's an opportunity for the Nickell team to gain a substantial swing on this board if they can get a plus score on this board. As you can see, there's this.
Okay, I can hear you now. Thanks.
High.
Well, if they manage to stop, they're going to take the lead.
either Kit or I am in a time warp. I'm still seeing them bidding the hand.
Me too.
Yeah, they're still bidding the hand. That's right. Well, this shows a minimum, but Weinstein still has a pretty good hand.
It's very hard to stop short of slam when your partner opens and you have a 20 count. What about? I guess six clubs just has a trump loser and an ace. It's kind of unlucky to go down. The other table was in six no trump, which is not as good as six clubs.
Does it have a trump loser?
It depends on whether whether.
It doesn't have to, you
That's
know.
why you can do everything. Trump can be picked up for no losers. You
Seriously,
with low to the jack.
I don't seriously think you can. But six clubs down one will still be three imps, which happens to be a lot of imps at this state of the match. And it does look like they will find clubs. And if they bid keycard Blackwoods, look what they're going to find.
For me, I would try to. I don't feel like I would have enough information to just blast Blackwood with the West hand because I can't count the right number of tricks no matter what partner's response it is. I'm certainly going to drive the hand to at least six clubs anyways, but I don't really see the advantage.
But the point is, if you're going to drive it to six clubs, and you're certainly not going to bid a grand opposite a minimum, how can it hurt to keycard? And you will find out you're off for the ace and the queen of trumps. And here it is, the keycard bid. They are going to stop.
I'm not sure he's going to stop. He may think his partner might have five clubs, although his partner's three club bid, I assume, shows length in clubs. So
no, it just shows a minimum.
Five small won't show the queen.
And they play 1430, so this is 0-3. I'm sorry, 1 or 4, I misspoke. Here's the queen-esque.
I would think two no trump would show a weak no trump after one club, two clubs.
I think they must play.
That's what he has.
I think they must play that two no trump shows a balanced hand at the top end of the range, basically, so that they don't have to guess to get to three no trump.
That's right. No, I don't think they play that.
You don't think it shows like 13, 14 or something?
No, I think it might deny the fourth club. But anyway, they're stopping, I think. But we shall see.
Yeah, so Jacko's just saying the same thing, that 2-no trump would be 3 clubs, and 3 clubs promises 4 or more.
Now what Weinstein's wondering is if there might be enough tricks in no trump, just on sheer power, but where's that extra trick coming from? It just don't seem to be there. Well, this decision is almost certainly going to be the match.
Well done, Steve.
Slam has been bid on board 60 at the other table. So it is a 35 high card point slam missing an ace, so I would expect that to be a duplicated result.
You can bet that Levin will love to see that 4-1 club split.
And Nickell has regained the lead by 8.
And that clock ticking is now ticking for the diamond team with 2 boards to play.
And with Meckstrath and Rodwell having par results in the last 2 boards, I think it's all over unless something very unexpected happens.
Levin and Weinstein have to be pretty pleased with their card, especially after these last 5 boards. But they had some other positive positions earlier in the set that wound up being pushes or near pushes. Interesting note on this hand. The other table, Rodwell rebid 2 clubs after a diamond passes Spade in the precision context, where Hampson rebid 1-no trump, which may tell you something about the personalities of the players. I know Rodwell's done some analysis on suit distributions and the way they play, and that 5-4-2-2 is quite advantageous in suit contracts as opposed to no trump.
Personally, I hate opening a diamond and rebidding 2 clubs on 4 diamonds and 5 clubs.
When you're playing precision, though, it's another story, because you're not showing longer diamonds than clubs.
Right, good point.
There was about 15 years ago, maybe, there was a challenge match that Mextreth and Rodwell participated in, where the conditions called for a 1-no trump opening bid on every hand, and they analyzed in preparation for that defensive methods, and they bid a whole bunch of hands against 1-no trump auctions, and found that what it paid for, what shapes took which tricks as sort of a side result, and they found that 5-4-2-2s were really suit oriented. So both stayed sides in 2 spades, no swing on this hand, and really, barring something weird, I can't see any possible way for the diamond team to score a swing on board 60 either. I think the match is over.
Well, considering that the Nickell team did the slam, there clearly isn't a way.
And the hands are mirror, so there's on board 60, so there's no chance of getting to a grand and getting a bad lead and making it. And they'd have to underlead their ace twice against a grand to let you make. If Vladimir Putin was playing the hand, you might expect that defense, but that's not going to happen here.
Well, you know it's not going to happen, because as soon as he sees the dummy, he's going to claim and come charging out to see if they won or lost.
Well, these 120 boards have seen many fantastic plays by these players, one and all. Really great match and a very high level of play at the end of a long, grueling week of difficult bridge.
Oh, no kidding. This was a fantastic match. That cannot be denied.
The USA still sends 2 teams, right?
Right.
Yes.
The second team is going to be determined in the trials next year.
Well, this was a hell of a match. And
this is for the Bermuda Bowl 2015.
Both these teams played great, and it was an incredible pleasure to watch many very nicely played hands. And before we go, I want to say thank you to BBO to making all this possible. Thank you to Jan, who is some kind of a saint for all the work that she does arranging these view graphs. And of course, thank you to my co-commentators, Mike and Kit.
Thank you, Andrew. And I think we had our view graph operator today was a BVO celeb and Academy Award winner, Mr. Greg Humphreys. Congratulations to him on that, and thank him. I want to thank all the wonderful view graph operators for their diligence there too. So I guess by winning this, you earn yourself 9 days of buys at the next team trials.
Yes, you got to buy through the event.
Interesting to note that with 6 boards to go, the score of this segment was 9-8, I believe. And it looked like Diamond was going to be a shoo-in, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, look at the. I'm looking at the card from the other table, and there are only 3 scores in the East-West column, and there are a 100, a 50, and a 200.
Certainly Nextdraft and Rodwell had the better of it, but they don't know that they have a lock by any means. And actually, Ledden and Weinstein had a couple of really big results. In fact, I think they were the ones who had the really big card.
I agree with that assessment, and I think there were definitely some missed opportunities in this set. They're going to look back and see that the whole event was 8 imps, and boy, every player can think back and say there was some place I could have picked up imps, because you give up 270 imps, they had to come somewhere.
Okay, I'm going to say one last time, congratulations to both teams on a very well-played match and another well-earned trip to the Bermuda Bowl for the Nickell team. I'm going to have to sign off now. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Poor Weinstein on lead with a total Yarver against 6-no trump on a blind auction, and from his point of view, the match could be riding on this lead. Little does he know.
So he knows they showed the queen of trumps with diamonds agreed, so it seems like a diamond is unlikely to blow a trick.
Yeah, but he doesn't know if he's supposed to be aggressive or passive. He might have to set up a trick quickly, or he might have to be passive.
Well, his partner at favorable passed over the precision club, so there's a fair chance that his partner doesn't have any suit that he's desperate to have him lead. But yeah, it's pretty much a guess. I would tend to try to go passive on a hand where a partner had a cheap chance to make a call and didn't.
I mean, any lead might even take partner off a squeeze. I mean, this is just so blind. Anyway, Hampson will certainly claim this very quickly.
I probably already claimed it. All right, well, thank you all. Thank you, Kit, and
Okay, good night, all.
wow, very exciting.